Hi there, and thank you for clicking on my video. I was getting some questions, and just to clarify on Revenant Prime and Revenant, it doesn't change for either of them. Revenant does not need much to get going. Okay, he's he benefits greatly from power strength, but even then, if you're willing to cast more often, he just doesn't need it. Um, so I've put together a handy dandy high tier build. Um, and we're gonna run some steel path with it, at least to the first acolyte. I like the first acolyte because you got to be able to kill the acolyte, right? Natural talent for mesmer skin, equilibrium because we're running the synth set on the Panzer, and this is one of the. I'm still working on these for those that are getting them. Um, it's the final one though. It's only been 2 weeks. So we have this handy dandy high tier Revenant build. Um, he just needs energy regen and natural talent, really. So he can recast Mesmer Skin. So we're gonna get our energy regen from the Equilibrium synth set interaction because it's a lot of energy for not very much mod space. We're gonna be doing mod. So we've modded our Phantasma, going with the Revenant build. Normally, I would try to showcase like the abilities of the frame, but the fact is 90% of what Revenant is he's a weapons platform. You can run cheese builds with super high power strength and say like roar, and just run around one-shotting stuff. It's a good time. But Revenant's main perk is that he is ultra hard to kill, right? Because of Mesmer Skin. So just to give me a little bit easier time, I'm going to do some strength on here. And even then, so that'll get us to 190. It'll be, what, 11 stacks? When it gets all stacked up. So just a little bit of power strength, not a ton. Equilibrium and natural talent. And we're going to be killing mostly with the Phantasma. Toxin Hunter Munition build because it's corrupted. It's the meta. And a standard beam rifle. Or beam shotgun in this case. I'm not going to be using the other two, but I have been using the Zakti and the Tatsu. Alright, the next couple of minutes are going to be gameplay, Steel Path mod.
These are worthy foes. Underestimate them at your peril.
And I'm going to talk a little bit about what I'm doing. It's not really that interesting. Because it's just basically killing stuff with the primary. We're going to get our stacks built up. Use the one for a little bit of CC. Well, we got our stacks built up. Slash from Hunter Munitions is killing the armored enemies, toxins bypassing the shields on the shielded enemies. And this is a crit Phantasma build.
Prepare for life support.
So our thralls have spread, providing us with sort of a barrier. One of the ways you can utilize them if you're struggling and trying to eke out more levels, is you can shoot into the thralls. Oh, was not paying attention.
I've delivered a life support capsule to the area. Activating it will buy you more time.
Yeah, that's what I get for running my mouth. Is you can sort of slowly move the thrall line, if you will, forward and trim them out so they move the thrall line further down to provide you with the CC and like a barrier between you and the enemies, because the enemies are going to attack the first enemy with threat, right?
Life support incoming.
And you can see how the thralls are keeping them sort of bunched up. So we just trim the stuff that shows up from the back, right?
Another life support capsule.
And if we want to move forward, shoot into the thralls. And a way to be safer about casting your Mesmer Skin is you wait for an invulnerability stack to pop like that. And then cast it at the same time, and it'll give you some iframes. I almost killed myself. Nope, got him.
Just made their first discovery. Keep up the good work.
I was hitting enemies when I was trying to thrall the Acolyte. Alright, so now that we're fully stacked with the Strength Arcane from the Zeraman, let me find an Acolyte, or a Thrall to kill. There we go. So with this build, the Phantasma build, the radiation does give you a little bit of extra CC, but you can see that you can see that the radiation is providing additional CC. It does help you out a bit, especially with trash mobs. It's not going to do anything to Eximus units. It will aggro them, though. If they come across a unit that that has a radiation proc on it, it will aggro it. But there we go. A couple of minutes. Provided you're not lazy about the Mesmer skins charges like I was being. It should be a pretty easy run. And that's part of the reason why you take Rolling Guard, is when you hear the charges fall off. Or when you notice it, you can just roll because it's a faster animation than casting Mesmer Skin, so you would just roll and then cast Mesmer Skin. So, there you go. No Galaxy Brain takes on this guy. It's all you really need to get going, and then you just need a weapon that can deal with whatever tier of enemy you're doing. But there's the build. That's all you really need. None of the comfy mods. Everything else is literally circumstantial. Like, one of the builds that's just gonna do significantly more damage is gonna be like something like this, where you're constantly losing health to what you're killing, but it's constantly proccing Avenger. The amount of damage you get on top of what you normally have is going to be enough that the health orbs that come from the enemies is going to be enough to keep up with the combat discipline drain on its own. And now that we have the Archon mods, you could probably put this in also and get some health back from Reeve. If you kill something from far enough away and you don't get, and you're missing some health, you could Reeve and then recast Mesmer and jack the strength up a little bit more. So there's a bunch of stuff you could do, but he just doesn't need that much. So this is a more accurate base build of what Revenant needs. A little bit of strength. And some casting speed makes them really comfy to use. And Rolling Guard is a lifesaver, because like when I died in those, it's when I was trying to recast Mesmer Skin, or because I straight up wasn't paying attention. Most likely because I wasn't paying attention, because I'm used to a significantly larger number of charges. So it just fell off pretty quick. But even with this, it gets you to almost 200% power strength, because this will get you to 60. Plus 30 gets you to 190, which is a decent enough power strength, right? So there you go. I hope this is a little more informative in terms of like the minimum build that you need for Revenant. Obviously taking huge advantage of the synth set with this though. Anyway, thank you.